You ever see someone just waltz into a disaster like they're walking the red carpet? That's what happened the day our HOA president decided to strut her stuff straight into a handicapped spot at Walmart. No permit, no shame. Just that signature blend of audacity and entitlement you only get from folks who think the rules are for everyone else. Let me tell you, you haven't really seen karma work until you've seen a tow truck roll up before the receipts are even printed. But let me back up a sec, because the real story started long before the blue paint, the flashing lights, and Karen Jameson's little meltdown on the asphalt. Now, I'm Frank Castle, Trenton County, veteran, proud owner of the world's creakiest pickup truck, and apparently, magnet for neighborhood drama. That day, the summer air was so thick you could chew it, and I was circling the Walmart lot like a buzzard, praying for a spot that wouldn't require a mile-long hike. My knee, the one that came back from the war with a little more personality, was throbbing to the beat of the engine. All I wanted was charcoal, steaks, maybe that potato salad Linda loves, nothing fancy. And there it was, my golden ticket. Handicap spot, right up front, freshly painted, practically begging for a vet with a limp and a grocery list. But before I could even turn the wheel, a white SUV, think small tank, all shiny chrome and smugness, cut me off, nose-dived into the spot. And out popped Karen Jameson, queen of Trenton Hills HOA, protector of property values, destroyer of fun. She stepped out like she owned the place, tennis white spotless, hair pulled back so tight it looked like a facelift. She didn't even glance around, just slung her fancy bag over her shoulder and strutted inside. No limp, no cane, not even a hint of a sticker hanging from the mirror. It was like watching someone key your car and smile about it. For a second, I thought, Frank, just let it go. The grill is waiting, the beer is cold. Who needs this today? But you know what? That blue paint isn't a suggestion. It's a promise, one I've seen broken too many times. A promise to guys I served with who came home different, to folks like my dad, who needed those few extra feet just to buy a loaf of bread. Linda always jokes that I have a problem with bullies. She's not wrong. So, I snapped a photo, clear as day, Karen's SUV, the blue lines, the empty mirror. I called the non-emergency line, gave them the rundown. Figured it'd take hours. Small-town police aren't exactly known for their NASCAR response times. 15 minutes later, Officer Daniels rolls up, crisp uniform, squared away look that says, "Don't mess." He checks out the SUV, walks a slow circle, writes a ticket. No drama, just business. A small crowd gathers, phones out, whispers flying. Right on cue. Here comes Karen, cart full of kale and self-importance, spots the ticket, and goes full volcano. "This is harassment," she shrieks. "Do you know who I am?" Daniels, cool as ever, just says, "Yes, ma'am. And you're parked illegally." She threatens, she flails, she tries to pull the important community leader card. Daniels, not missing a beat, "Great. You can donate at the tow yard." The crowd eats it up. Someone whispers, "Bro, is this live?" And when the tow truck shows, oh man, it was like watching the opening act at a rock concert. Karen's SUV rises up, chained and helpless. "It's just paint," she yells. "It's my wife's ramp, not your runway," I reply. People actually cheer. Now, I figured, okay, she'll cool off, send a nasty letter, maybe glare at me over the mailbox. Instead, I wake up the next morning to a full-blown character assassination on the neighborhood's Facebook page. According to Karen, I'm some deranged ex-military stalker who made up the whole thing to humiliate her. Because, get this, I have issues with female authority. There's a blurry phone snap of me, looking like I'm plotting world domination, right under the post. And oh boy, do the comments come flying in. Caps lock warriors everywhere. Linda just laughs. Female authority? Frank, the only thing you argue with is the thermostat. We decide not to take the bait, let it burn out. But 2 days later, bam, first HOA violation. Our mailbox, apparently, is worn charcoal instead of midnight ebony. $50 fine. Linda and I nearly bust a gut laughing. Next day, the grass is a 1/4 inch too high. Then, the garbage cans, 55 minutes past cutoff. Fine, fine, fine. Death by 1,000 passive-aggressive cuts. Now, I've dealt with worse than paper bullies. But each petty notice just steals my resolve. Linda's the rock through it all, reading the violations like they're fortune cookies. aggressive rose bush activity? My cousin Andrew, a lawyer, says, document everything, Frank. People like this always overplay their hand. And he's right. Because one night, midnight, sharp knock, another notice taped to the door. This time, it's not just a fine, it's a lien on our house. $2,000 in fines. All fabricated, all designed to scare us. Next morning, Daniel shows up, says he's not just patrol, he's on a county task force investigating disability fraud. Turns out, the HOA is under suspicion for running a whole fake placard racket. We need someone on the inside, Frank. Someone she trusts, or at least, someone she hates enough not to suspect. I'm stunned, but when he tells me how deep it goes, the fake placards, the money, the evidence, I know what I have to do. So I play along. I repaint the mailbox. I mow the grass, twice. Cameras go up, doorbell, driveway, backyard. Linda calls it Fort Frank. Karen escalates. One morning, my truck tires slashed. On camera, a hoodie-wearing figure with the HOA badge flashes into view. That's the break Daniels needs. He logs the evidence, sets the trap. The twist? The county's not just after Karen. They want the whole ring. So, with Daniels and an undercover cop, Detective Miller, posing as a wealthy new widow needing a special parking favor, we set the bait at the annual HOA donor gala. It's a classic. Miller offers a fat donation for a permanent placard. Karen, greedy as ever, bites. The exchange happens, recorded, bills marked. Meanwhile, I run interference, boring the vice president to death about sprinkler heads. Then, on Daniel's signal, I hit the projector. The slideshow isn't flowers, it's the security cam footage, my tire getting slashed, the HOA badge clear as day, the bank withdrawals glowing red. The room explodes in whispers. Just as Karen comes strutting back in, envelope in hand, the doors burst open, cops everywhere. She tries to bolt, but the evidence pours out. Duffel bag full of fake placards, cash, the whole operation on the garage floor. The click of those handcuffs, man, sweeter than any barbecue. After that, the fallout is biblical. News trucks swarm, neighbors cheer, and for once, every single fake placard is confiscated, every car ticketed and towed. Karen's empire collapses in a heap of fines, lawsuits, and disgrace. For Linda and me, life changes. Suddenly, neighbors aren't afraid, they're empowered. We dissolve the old HOA, build ramps and accessible spots, repaint the lines, run real community events. We're just people again, looking out for each other. Karen? She gets 5 years probation, 2,000 hours scrubbing floors for a disability charity, pays back every cent, and becomes a countywide punchline. At her sentencing, the judge doesn't hold back. Justice, finally, for everyone you tried to keep out. And you know what? I sit with Linda, coffee in hand, watching the new ramps, the open blue spots, the kids racing on the sidewalk, and I finally get it. Sometimes, peace and justice aren't opposites. Sometimes, you have to pick up a leaf blower at 6 a.m., or stand in court and tell your story, or risk your quiet for the sake of what's right. But the peace you earn, the real kind, it's worth every minute of the fight. So now, I've got a question for you, whoever's listening. When you see someone break the rules, someone taking what isn't theirs, do you let it go for the sake of peace? Or do you fight, even if it costs you? Where's the line, and who gets to draw it? I want to hear your stories. Drop a comment, tell me what you'd have done. Let's talk about justice, about right and wrong, about the battles worth fighting and the peace we all deserve. Because out here in the real world, sometimes the only road to peace runs right through the middle of a blue parking spot. And if justice ever needs a tow truck, well, you know who to call.